Anyone here? We're back, right? We're back. Anyone? I don't know what happened. This was the first time it happened for me. Internet disconnected. Huh. Or stream disconnected. Maybe I said something that we didn't want to talk about. Are we here? Hello. Are we back? Went down. Yeah, it never happened before. But you see, when these things happen, this is actually a beautiful thing, because this happens in different aspects of our lives, when everything just goes down. And it could look like I was saying, that it looks like something that makes it less beautiful, but in the end it just builds that fire. It gives us a perspective to see who we are from a different perspective, and with that build a fire of curiosity, standing up for ourselves. What do we want, and what is it out there? Oh, so it was you, Paga, who had a question for me. Go on, tell me. I'm just gonna refresh chat. Hang on, I just have to do this for my own sake. Okay, here we are. Sorry, go on, Paga. What's your question, my friend? I'm sorry that the stream went down. I wonder what happened. Maybe there was a great wind coming in. No, you know what it could be? When I had, every time that I've had a computer that I use, a laptop or a computer, stationary, and when I was younger, and we were thinking about getting a new one. The old one would always stop to work. It was as if it felt, okay, so no more. So it wouldn't start anymore, because we were already thinking about getting a new one. And we have just installed an antenna up on our roof in order to have the ability to connect to the internet. And now they're coming and building, digging up so we can have fiber connection. So maybe maybe our old internet connection, the antenna that just went up on the roof, got a little bit upset with us. Who knows? You've been wondering if you can speak with animals through telepathy from an experience. Yeah, tell me the experience, Paga. I would say you definitely can. Definitely. But tell me the experience, my friend. And if anyone wants a reading, the internet should be stable now, hopefully. Just to put exclamation mark joy in chat, and you'll be good and cute. You've always been drawn into animals. But the frequency that you pick up on, or the frequency that you live in, being so close to nature, Saga, like I talked to you before, this is what other animals do. Most of them. We sniff and we read, when you go out with a dog and they read the paper, as we say, to sniff the ground to see what is been going on. It's a natural part of their way of understanding their world. And with you being so connected with this frequency, we did this too before as humans, looking to see what has happened with reading nature, reading our surroundings with nature and the frequency of nature. So it makes total sense that what you are breathing in, other animals, other species, they do. Individuals, they use the same frequency to see what happens frequency to understand what to do in order to get the best out of life and to survive. So it makes total sense to me that you would connect. We all can connect. As I said before, we all have it inside of ourselves. We just use it and see it as much as is needed in our life. Because we're all individuals, we're all unique. But for you, Paga, yes, I would definitely say it makes sense. But tell me about the story. Tell me about the experience you had last year. And I'm gonna show you a figurine that wants to come through for you, Paga. And I think you know what it wants to say. About what we've been talking about before, Paga. Recognize it. You'll be right in. Now your analyzing mind will say that, well, I never seen that one. No, you haven't. But you know the emotion that I'm trying to convey. Just be careful. You know what I'm saying. You're so confused, but also smiling. I love it. Yeah. Tell me what happened. So to be careful. Yeah, I did. That came through. About the dependency. So, as I said before, I truly do believe that all is due to perspectives, where we are, how we are. It's so interesting. Now I have clients who are very skeptical and they come to me. We start this little process, and after a couple of sessions, they say they don't feel a change, but they see things happening around them. So they would come to me, and I had this happen several times. They would come to me and they would say, you know, things in my life is changing. People around me are changing, and situations and opportunities are popping up that it hasn't happened for years on end. And now everything just seems to happen all of a sudden right now. And I don't understand what it is that is happening. It's so beautiful because I can see the change and the flow in them, but because they're being focused on it, be skeptical of it, which is totally fine and acceptable and important. And in some degree, we all should be skeptical because it keeps our mind open and excited and curious. And we can't have one without the other, you know? But it's so interesting because they would say, you know, that they don't see a difference. And then they start to see this difference around them. And it's then that they realize, hang on, how come that everything around me is changing, but I'm not? Maybe it's the other way around. Maybe it's you and your perspective and how you look at things, because you start feeling comfortable and start to build relationship to yourself and your different aspects within yourself, so you are more open to hear and listen and see what is going on around you. And with that energy, since we're all connected, it's the law of attraction, right? I just think it's so beautiful. I'm gonna read now. In your country, there's a few spiritual centers where people go to find about their gifts, their life, and many other stuff. You used to talk with a guy online who was part in one of those centers from his religion, and they would teach people to get in tune with their gifts and so on. And I asked him about finding my gifts and finding out some answers about what happened in my childhood. And I gave him a full name and birth date, which was necessary for the perfect person to connect. Okay? So what did he say? What happened then? If you want to share, Pega. It's so interesting when, as you're typing, it's so interesting how we say to find our gift. Because, people are talking about it being a gift, and it is. But I also talked about this a lot, you know me, that if it is a gift, it's as much a gift as anything. It's just part of us. Everyone can do. And like I said, we just use it as much as we need and feel comfortable with in our life. I have someone, a dear friend of mine, who are a bit skeptical and want to help people in a way that is not spiritual in a sense. And then I say to them, well, you're an empath. And the thing is, when we say this, because they're an empath and a healer. And when I say that, I don't mean you need to work the way I do. This would not be for everyone, because nothing is for everyone. But being an empath and being a healer is not something that necessarily you have to be stood and provide healing and working with energy the way I do or anyone else. You can also, cross over. I want to have no difference between the two, but you can take the bridge and you can work with it in a sense of a more traditional manner. You can still work with people, and you can still be a doctor in a traditional sense, or a psychologist, or a therapist, or whatever you want to be, and be an empath and a healer. Because providing healing and reading from empathy it's not magic. It's just a way that you understand the world, and it brings you this beautiful opportunity to follow your dream. So it's quite interesting to see that people who want to shy away from spirituality see it as being not logical or not rational, and therefore when it's inside of ourselves we want to shy away from it. But it's not something that is foreign, it's not something extraterrestrial, it's just you. It's just the way that you see the world and you work. So it's quite fascinating. For when you then try to shy away from it, other aspects of you are still connected to this because it's part of you. So therefore, other aspects will also be hidden away when you try to hid this part away. So in everything that is us, what I want to do is try to find a way to create as little taboos as possible for everyone, so that we can live and just feel comfortable and content in who we are. Because in taboos, there are so many other aspects involved and connected to that we consciously might not be aware of. And I've spoken about this before. So when we're so scared or don't want to touch or talk or appreciate something inside ourselves, that little something is part of you, and so it will be connected to, and you will associate it things that you might not even be, like I said, aware of. So this is what I want to do. No matter how grim it might sound, no matter how easy or difficult, anything that you experience and feel, it's just you. So let's meet it and let's live. Because this is what has been set to earth. This is you. I'm gonna read now, sorry. Okay, so on the day he went there and gave me details to the person who would do the astral work, okay? I had a dream where an older woman with a blondish and curly hair would guide me to a sort of old building. And when we got inside the building, we entered in a room where she started to levitate me, and she told me you can telepathically speak with animals. And that was it. This is beautiful. I like this. And so the levitation, Paga, you remember me talking about the vacuum of space being your room inside? I feel what was there was that the easiest aspect for you to grasp of this is to be able to communicate with other animals, because of other animals being such a comforting part of your life, or such a big part of your life, such a natural part of your life. And so enable in a way to open that door for you is to take the easiest route to your heart, and that being to be able to talk to other animals. You can communicate with Earth itself, but it's easiest for you to understand if you start with seeing that you can communicate with who is already around you and you can see and touch and be with. If that makes any sense. So can you do it? Of course you can. Why don't you experience that you can do it? Same answer to every question starts within you. Perspective. And to bring yourself with. To do it in a way to accept and love yourself and let yourself be with you do it. And to not do it in a way of trying to shy away from what is the rest of you and the rest of you and your experience of your life. Same with astral projection. What is the intention? As so many people love to talk about. But it is true. Do we want to do it in order to shy away from ourselves? The experience will look different. Or do we do it because we feel it's a way for us to feel joy and love within us? And then we can bring ourselves with. Same thing. Same thing we're doing with telepathy. With telepathy, there's also this part that is very, very important to talk about, of being manipulation. There were a rumor going around on Twitch that there were people energetically manipulating others. And I believe manipulation exists, yes. But the only one who can manipulate you, the only one who can manipulate you is you. You can be affected by other people's energy because you're reflecting each other. So if you have something inside of yourself that you'd rather not speak of, what you keep, what you try to lock in, the furthest away from you, pulling it all the way to the back and hopefully even further away. This you hide away in the deeper cell of your body will actually work because it's the deepest of you. It will actually work as the lens of which you are perceiving the rest of the world, because it is directly connected to your heart. So what we're trying to shove the furthest away from us will actually come to be the closest to other people, because we reflect each other. So it becomes the lens of which you perceive the world. And this lens, being the furthest away from you and closest to others, will also be what then reflects back to you when meeting someone else. What we see in others is what we resonate with within ourselves. And I spoke about this with someone yesterday, that when we have emotions inside, experience and feelings that we'd rather not meet, and we want to meet other people and help other people, and that becomes too much for us, can have to do with this, that by meeting others, we have no other, we can do nothing else but to actually confront our lens So what is deep here inside? Because that is the first thing that will reflect back upon us. So if we walk around not meeting other people, we will keep it inside of here. But when we talk to someone else, it will reflect directly back to us. So us who want to reach out and who want to help, this can be why it can be so exhausting to do so. Because I truly believe, and it's just my personal belief, but I truly believe that we cannot see what we don't know of ourselves. So we can't see in other people what we don't resonate with within ourselves. Which for me makes sense into the saying of what you call others, you call yourself. So when you're angry and mad at someone, you use the words that would hurt you. Because you are actually the individual that you are angry with. So what to do? Meet and greet and thank what is in here. To work in the process of creating it to become part of your natural flow. And a way to do that is to let it come out in its way it is. Then breathe it back in, to meet it, and to create the flow. When we've created a relationship to it, we can then also meet it in others. We can recognize it and say, I know you. When we feel we're not alone, or when we feel this feeling that, okay, I know I'm not alone feeling this emotion, but I still feel so lonely and I am so wrong in feeling this emotion. But I also know that I'm not alone, but it doesn't make any sense to me. The reason why you would say that someone else is feeling the same is because they do. And this makes it so it exists. If other people feel what you are feeling, this feeling exists. So why wouldn't you meet it? Why wouldn't you create it? It's just you. It's right there with you all along. So why not accept it and meet it and see what it is? I think it's worth it. Get into the vacuum easily when not trying to find answers. Yeah. Knowing them not alone, but still feeling lonely. So when we feel lonely, but knowing that we're not alone, we're looking down on ourselves sometimes, feeling disappointed in ourselves. Why can I have this feeling when I know that I'm not alone with this feeling? Why is this so wrong? Well, if you know that other people are feeling it, why would it be wrong? And how can it be since it's part of you? Not just because others are experiencing it, but this, help your mind see this. You are saying that I know I'm not alone with this. That means that this emotion exists. So why shouldn't you meet it? That's how I look at it. Anyone of you watching would like a reading today, or a healing, or energy transference, it's just to put exclamation mark joy. I'll be working with you. Hi! Accidentally joined the stream, sorry. I'll leave after I finish this. It will take quite some time. Oh well. Oh, to finish this coffee, huh, Emma? Yeah? Hi, my friend. Good morning. How are you doing? I got coffee here too. Good morning. We had an abrupt connection loss. 26 minutes ago, it says right here. I got this big red thingy saying that, oh, that the stream was disconnected and tried to reconnect 26 minutes ago. I don't know what happened, but I'm thinking maybe it's because we're getting fiber connection connected to the house. Maybe that is why the old antenna is being upset with us. You know, you would have left if you didn't have your coffee. Mm. You sounded British. In what way? It's Emma coming in, bringing out the Brit in me. Or maybe he woke up now. I don't know. When I said thingy, or when did I sound British? But Paga, you know what I'm talking about? This, right? Just think about it. It's right here. You were reading the notification. Yeah. Yeah. Well, him working with playing video games, you probably get to see loads of those notifications, don't you think? So that could have been that. Why it came out. Yeah. If no one has anything, you don't remember much of the message from the dog. Oh, about this? No, this was just about dependency. So it was just about being mindful of the dependency, Paga. Because you see the dog asking for a little treat and looking sad. It was just about this being part of you as well, with the dependency. So that was all. I was thinking if no one wants an energy reading, I can be reading my texts, my lyrics today. I've already done so before, but I think many people are new or have joined after I read all of them. But I can be reading today. If you have anything you'd like me to read as well, I'd love to, if you own the rights to it. If there is no one wanting a transference today, we can definitely read a little, bringing it to the beautiful feeling. I just ASMR. Maybe. But like I said, I already read all of these. So hang on. I have to find them first. I have to go via Facebook to find my own blog. That's good, right? uh, there it is. I found it. I got it. I have a blog. It's just a little archive with my old texts. Read them with anger. Really? I just want to read them, Emma. I don't feel like being angry today. There was so much anger yesterday in the system. Oh boy. But it was also full moon, so moving into the Scorpio, and I am Scorpio. So my friend who's more into astronomy than me said that, yeah, this could be one. But I can read my old works. I read all of them before. Because I've not written any new ones, but I have works in English and I have works in Swedish. So what would you like to hear, guys? Scorpio, yeah. You see, you can tell right here. I'm just gonna jump in and start read. Then, if you feel like, yeah, there it is. If you want to join, if you want to join, you can put joy in chat and we'll start working with energy. But I'm just gonna read. Many of these are very sad. But I can just read them. But like I said, read all of them. Oh? Hey Fabian, how are you, my friend? Thank you for joining. Would you like a transference today, Fabian? Because I know you're going through some tough things. But I feel you also just want to sit and breathe. Do you have some works I can read aloud? Because I can just use my healing voice today. Just read for you if you'd like. Thank you for always being such a beautiful support on Discord. You're this kind gentleman, greeting people and keeping the little corner alive when we're not there. I appreciate you so much. Sitting and breathing sounds good. Yeah. So I hope that we can provide with a little light, a little joy. So if anyone has anything I can read from, I'd love to. Because like I said, I already shared all of these. And they're very sad, most of them. But maybe just hearing the voice can help. I can read in Swedish as well, so you don't know how sad it is. We can making him blush. Oh, maybe I blushed too a little bit. Okay. I have a very sad short story. Like I said, I've read all of them. Well, but would you like to hear a sad short story? Sad, but it can bring some comfort in a way. Oh yeah, welcome. This is our home. This is the home of Sarah and Bempus. Welcome, Fabian. Like I said, if anyone wants an energy reading, just join. Put exclamation mark, joy. I'm gonna read this. It's called One Letter Too Late. This is a sad little story, but I hope that we can still. I wrote this in 2018. Let's see. The vault. It's not a vault. Paga thinks this is a vault. Oh, sorry. There. It's a beautiful little wood stove. Huh? That I thought would be such a beautiful backdrop to make this cozy little feeling. And then Paga comes in and says, oh, it's a vault. It's still beautiful though, I feel. And it is a wood stove. Don't worry. One letter too late. 2018. Sandra, my dear friend, the notice of your death did not hit me lightly. I shall always keep it to my heart, the somber moments at your bedside, which life did not give me permission to experience. As close as those joyful conversations in the garden we did have, your words of encouragement will always be of the greatest importance in my remaining life, and I am for those and all very grateful. I do realize my grave error in not writing you this sooner, as you will have no means of responding to whichever regretful words my heart in this late hour finally has decided to let go of for the sake of permitted acknowledgement. I do also realize the enmity of said words, especially as those who come might not do much but to harm the peace of your passing. However regretful, you'll be even more so disrespectful to myself not to tell them. I am but a humble old man, also I should earn some respect. I'm writing this in that old book Innie gave me so many years ago. It seemed appropriated somehow to be filling the blank pages finally with the last straw of a dying man after everyone he once held dear already has gone. Shaky words of some resemblance on what once were. I never did tell you that I always thought I would be first to go. After all this time following in your footsteps, I really did think life would throw me a handkerchief and toss me off first. God knows I never could imagine outliving Innie, so when she passed, I thought myself to be at least the next in line. I don't know what have I done to be the very last of us. What mischief God forbade to have me experience me passing, and everyone I once held dear. I do hope something gives that somewhere I've learned to love myself, as also I get to live. Ah, I can practically hear your voice reprimand me for being so mellow. But you see, my friend, as you learned the reason for my correspondence, you will not stay as cheerful. The truth of the matter is that I do know why I'm being left behind. What mischief God could not tolerate the taste of in heaven, but could neither bear as banished to hell. I never did sleep with Innie, you see. Consequently, the child she bore was not mine, and the abortion was not of a bastard to be, not of a regretful result of a love affair, but of a perfectly healthy love child, of a perfectly normal marriage. As to my knowledge, the child was yours, and I did not tell you. I could not bear telling you that the love of your life did not wish to have any children, did not wish to become a mother. So I lied. We both did. And we made up a love affair which never existed. Somehow, the shame of that seemed easier to live with than that of the truth. I lost 15 years of our friendship to a lie and a secret which was not mine to keep. I will never forget the day you returned home from enlistment, how you came to our doorstep, telling us how you somehow have found a way to forgive in the darkest bliss of war, how you wished us happiness and forever joy, come what may. Innie died holding my hand, the same way she did every night, the only ever intimate touch between us, holding the hand which should have been yours, swallowing the tears she never should have had to swallow, biting back the words which should have braced your ears. I never did love her, and she never loved me. She was yours, Santa, and should always have been. She did not want any children, but she did love you deeply. It was by reading her diary some 20 years after her passing I came to learn about the early death of her mother and the supposedly genetic heart disease. Inni knew, had known all her life how that life was going to be cut short, and could not bear having to put a child, any child, hers or her children's, through the grief of a mother's early passing and the pain of a compromised heart. You see, she did not want to have, she did not want to have any children. She wished not to have to leave them behind. When I learned this, Inni was already long gone, and I had no means of contacting you. The harm had already been done. It is my greatest hope God will permit the two of you to reunite in heaven, where you have my warmest blessing. Come what may. Your friend. That was sad, huh? It's quite interesting though. Wooden floors, yeah. And if you're still here, Fabian, we also got a wooden ceiling. Did it actually happen, or is it just a story? This is a story. This is a fictive story that I wrote 2018.